Have you ever wondered why some people seem to age faster, recover slower, or struggle with chronic inflammation, even when they're trying to live and eat healthy? What if one of the biggest reasons isn't something that you can even see? It's happening inside your cells every single day. Today, I want to talk about oxidative stress and why it matters, and why some research is showing how one simple molecule can change everything. Hi, I'm Farmer Dan, husband, father, and just a health and wellness advocate. And today I just want to talk about something I've come to realize as a very significant and important factor in our overall health, and that's oxidative stress in our bodies. That might be a new term to you. So let's talk a little bit about that and what oxidation is. So I'm sure we're all familiar with that apple that you cut and left on the counter, or maybe ate half of it and left the rest sitting on the counter and it turned brown. Well, that's what oxidation is. Or your vehicle oxidizes and is rusting. See, everything is trying to return to its natural state, and that includes you and me. We were created from the dust of the earth. That's my belief. That's what the Bible teaches and says. And so our bodies are really working towards returning to dust. That might seem a little morbid and not not very happy thoughts, but that's just the reality. But there's things that we can do in our life that can either speed that process up or slow it down. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. And that's the importance of recognizing what oxidative stress is and what it's doing in our bodies. I began learning about oxidative stress about 2.5 years ago when I got introduced to a water ionizer called the Kangen Water machine, and it filters out a lot of the harmful things in our water, and then through a process called electrolysis, it runs the water over platinum, medical grade platinum plates that puts a negative charge on the water, so it turns it into an antioxidant, anti-rich water that works in our bodies to neutralize all these free radicals that are wreaking havoc on our bodies. And free radicals are nothing short of just out of control cells that have a electrical charge on them, and why Kangen water can latch onto them and neutralize them. In fact, Kangen water goes even beyond, or electrolyzed reduced water goes beyond what even the antioxidants that we find in our foods can do. Research is finding that Kangen water can actually detect the worst free radicals, the things that are causing us most harm in our body, and attack them first, attack those cells while leaving our healthy cells alone, actually helping our healthy cells. Because Kangen water, electrolyzed reduced water, molecular hydrogen water, penetrates deeper and penetrates and breaks that cell barrier, because molecular hydrogen is the smallest molecule known to man. And because of that, it can penetrate where other antioxidants or even water can't, and why it's such a powerful tool for your overall health and well-being. And mainly the reason that I got into it, yes, we have some health issues we've talked about before. My wife's got a lot of chronic health issues and a lot of inflammation and cellular inflammation, and autoimmune disease. I'm diabetic. So we have these things that we're working out. But what really got me excited or really motivated was more preventative medicine. They say cure is worth an ounce of preventative is worth a pound of cure. I would much rather prevent chronic diseases than try to fight it once I have it. There's a lot of amazing testimonies of what Kangen water has done, including reversing cancer in people. This Kangen water is not only just molecular hydrogen water, but it's also alkaline water, and it alkalizes the water not through a chemical process like the alkaline water that you see on the shelf at the grocery stores that uses like sodium and calcium carbonate and those different minerals, but through a molecular process, it changes the pH of the water. And I've talked a little bit about the importance of our blood pH and the role that that has in our overall health. Our bodies are acidic in general, and these bottled alkaline water that does it through a chemical process, our bodies don't neutralize, or doesn't help our bodies neutralize the acid. The acid in our bodies actually neutralizes or turns that alkaline water into acidic water. I've got demonstrations that I've done to prove that, because our breath is acidic. So if you take that alkaline water and put pH drops in it, and then take a straw and blow into it, it should start out purple once you put those pH drops in, and then once you start blowing, it only takes a few seconds to see how the acidity in your breath changes that water, and it soon becomes green or even yellow and orange, showing how it's now an acid instead of alkaline. Whereas the Kangen water machine does it through a molecular process, so you can blow into Kangen water all day long and it stays the same. So that just shows you how you're really wasting your money if you're just drinking and buying alkaline water. If that's something you truly believe in, I'd really recommend looking at one of these Kangen machines, and happy to show you some more information on it, because that just demonstrates how that Kangen water is going to help neutralize the acids in our body versus the other way around. And also show you how acid a lot of these drinks are, even some healthy drinks are considered healthy, but they're really very acidic. Of course, I think soda is probably one of the worst things you could drink. It's extremely acidic, and it takes 2 gallons of water to neutralize 1 can of soda, which is pretty significant. This is also why I believe so many people are chronically ill, because they're hydrating with all the wrong things. Acid drinks, really. Of course, all the processed foods and the air we breathe and all the toxins in the water, all those things contribute to our oxidative stress in our bodies. So Kangen water isn't a miracle worker. It's not gonna change if you're not willing to change some other habits perhaps in your life. But oxidative stress becoming is being recognized more and more for what it's doing, or how oxidative stress in our bodies is really the underlying cause of a lot of our chronic illness and disease. And again, why I'm just a firm believer in drinking the Kangen water to help keep our bodies balanced, The Kangen water also is microclustered, so it's penetrating our cells and hydrating us in ways that normal water just can't. Perhaps you've experienced just drinking, and still feeling thirsty. It's caused really by two things. One, you probably are low on electrolytes and should just add a pinch or two of salt in your water, but then also drinking the right kind of water that can penetrate our cells and hydrate us in ways that normal water can't. Our bodies are somewhere around 80% water. Our brains, I think, are even higher. Our organs, everything is extremely dependent on proper hydration. In fact, there's a gentleman who has been able to help cure many different diseases or ailments strictly by just getting people hydrated. Things like chronic fatigue and headaches, high blood pressure, a lot of very common things that we as Americans deal with. But again, I think a lot of people are deceived and thinking that as long as they're drinking something, they're hydrating. Where you really need to be getting at your bare minimum, right, your 8 glasses of water a day. Then other things could be on top of that. But I'm not really a fan of a whole lot of other drinks. We have the raw dairy, so I'm still a firm believer in the raw milk and what it can do for healing our bodies as well. Of course, milk is 80% water, so you've got you've got that going for you too. But even there, I would say, you need to be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day, and then other things are on top of that. Maybe your coffees, your teas, your kombucha. But if you're grabbing a soda or even a diet soda, you're really dehydrating yourself, not hydrating yourself. That's why I believe so many Americans are living in a chronic dehydration state and don't even realize it. But there's two main things that seem to be, of course, there's a lot. It's hard to narrow it down, but it seems that vegetable oils, there's two different things, that vegetable oils and seed oils are one of the biggest things that disrupt our cell health and cause cellular inflammation. And when cellular inflammation is happening, it's cells aren't able to communicate with your brain and your hormones, and everything just doesn't function the way that it should. But another main cause seems to be these electromagnetic radiation, or EMF, uh, electromagnetic frequencies that are disrupting our cell health as well. So that's why we've really worked hard at trying to eliminate a lot of these seed oils and vegetable oils out of our diets. We've eliminated them as far as our staples in our house goes. It's neat to see how companies are recognizing the trends, and even Steak and Shake now is all um, grass-fed beef, and their onion rings, tater tots, and French fries are 100% vegetable oil and seed oil free. They're using beef tallow. I just got a bag of chips from Costco that's now made with beef tallow. So, it's now all of a sudden you can get chips that are, again, I understand there's perhaps not the healthiest snack, but also, when you're just getting chips now with just potato, salt, and beef tallow, well, I would consider that a healthy snack, although it is carb, so you have to watch out for that. But at least you're not getting all the preservatives and junk in there. And the EMF is something that we've started to take some charge with, and have blockers on our phones and my laptop. I went with a company called Wave Block, and they have a technology that disperses this radiation without causing any disruption with service or your devices. And then, I'd like to get, there's another product that Enagic, who makes the Kangen water machines, they came out with a few years ago. It's called the M-Guard, and that is a portable device that you kind of just keep with you or keep it in the room with you, and it blocks all the different EMF radiation going on in your house. Because the reality is, all these electronic devices and the things that we consider convenient and progressive, I'm very much a progressive guy, but now you've got, your stove and your refrigerator and, your thermostats and, there's all these electronic devices in your house, right, that are just causing disruptions and really your cellular health, and are causing a lot of different health issues. So those are two things that I really feel like um, are really key. It's one thing to change your diet, but if you're not, uh, you know, taking care of some of these other things, um, you're just not going to really maybe perhaps get to the root cause of things. So I'll leave a link in there for that Wave Block company. I've got an affiliate link that you can use. I think you get 10 or 15% off of your purchase, and they have them for AirPods and things like that too. So that I see people walking around with these Bluetooth headsets all the time. People are just oblivious at what it's doing to their health. So that's a kind of went off a little bit, but that's what oxidative stress is. That's how it's affecting our bodies. How we can slow that oxidative stress down, slow the aging of our bodies down by drinking electrolyzed reduced water. I believe Kangen water is the best ionizer out there, that made in Japan. I'm very much a US made guy, but some things you just have to recognize that, other countries are just maybe have a better handle on things. This is a 52, 53-year-old company that's been making these, and they're the only ones that I've seen that have any type of medical certification, and certainly medical certification from Japan, which is extremely difficult to achieve, and it's used in a lot of different hospitals in Japan. And the machine goes way beyond just drinking water. It has many different uses, from a highly alkaline water for washing your vegetables to an extremely acidic water, which is be considered like a hypochlorous acid, which is similar to what our bodies produces to disinfect wounds. You can use that to replace these harmful chemicals and chlorine in your house. The beauty water is um, a similar pH to your skin, or even rainwater. So we use it for, when I buy my wife flowers, it helps keep the flowers living longer because it's more of a natural pH like rainwater is. But a lot of different uses. So if you're interested in that too, like, I'd be happy to share some more information. There's so much out there, and benefits of drinking Kangen water, testimonies and things like that. But this is, something that I've been really learning and studying and understanding a little bit more, and just seeing how the more I read on different health issues, how so many things come back to oxidative stress in our bodies. And so we're just changing the water, change our life just by drinking different water. So anyway, I'd love to chat, answer any questions you have, get some more information out to you if you're interested. Maybe you have an experience with Kangen water testimony. I'd love to hear that as well. But for right now, this is Farmer Dan, just signing off, and we'll talk to you again all soon.